Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez and you're watching my YouTube channel, The Teenage Movie Critic, and welcome back to my YouTube channel everybody. I'm so excited to have you all back together again, and in today's video we're going to be doing another end of the month ranking with all 16 new releases that I saw in the month of June of 2024. And so let's go ahead and get started. Now, I remember I actually watched some of the Loud House movies mainly because I finished watching the Loud House show, and I heard that they made some Loud House movies, and I'm like, okay, I wanted to check it out. And I saw the new one that came out just a week back, and I just feel like the Loud House movies, they have a hard time knowing how to do a film, because it's like it seems so simple, yet they fail, and I'm not really entertained by this film. Just go watch it for yourself and you'll see why, but it comes in last place. Now, we grown now. It was a good film. I don't really remember much of it. That's why it's lower on the list. Now, this one I think was okay. The performances were pretty good, but that's about it. Now, this one I would say is actually pretty good. I believe this is directed by the director it's directed by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. I thought it was some cool lore and some good horror effects. It was a pretty good film. So this is from the director of Poor Things, Yorgos Lanthimos, director. I thought it was fine. It's a good film, but nothing too crazy. No, Bikeriders was a film that I was kind of excited for because they said they were going to release it last year, but then it got delayed to this year, and the trailers made it look cool, and it was okay. A pretty solid action film. A pretty solid action film in France. Now, this is actually a pretty good action movie. I like the stakes and everything. Unsung Hero was fine. That's all I can really say. Now, this one actually had some pretty good effects in the score. The story is kind of forgettable. Now, this one had some good horror, and the color and everything of purple was very colorful. Now, this is pretty much where the list just gets better from here. And I thought Ultraman Rising was a pretty good, decent little animated film on Netflix. I know nothing about Ultraman, so I was kind of confused with this film, but it actually kind of was a film about raising a baby that's different from a monster that we're known to stopping kaijus, and it has a certain good heart to it with all the characters and the story that they created, so it was good enough, but definitely not my favorite. Alright, now the top three are pretty much all fantastic movies. I love all three of these movies, and Bad Boys Ride or Die, I think, is easily one of June's best movies. It was the first movie I saw this month, not only in theaters, but also of the month, and I just thought it was another solid Bad Boys film, where one of the things I loved about Bad Boys for Life is that it was a film that was able to bring back the classicalness, the classic humor and banter that we all love from these two actors, but mixed in an emotional story, some exciting action, fun characters to be on the journey with, and all that stuff. This movie continues that, but at the same time, they kind of craft a bit of a good story. The story is good. Of course, the chemistry between Martin Lawrence and Will Smith is still fantastic. The way that they use the characters, the side characters, they find more ways for them to be fun. Even the arc that the son has, I actually really enjoyed. And even the way and I also just really liked the action in the film and the way it's shot like a video game in some ways. It was just a really cool experience. Of course, the Reggie sequences, all of them are fantastic. I will say, I do have a couple issues with the way they used Marcus's character, in that after he kind of just died from a heart attack and now he's back alive and he's like thinking he can't die. Like, it's kind of weird in the way things are doing that. And so it's like they're trying so hard to dive deep into them getting older, and I don't really think it worked all that well, but I still thought it was a solid Bad Boys film. Definitely second best of the franchise. So I think it's definitely one of the better ones, but yeah, this is still a solid Bad Boys sequel. And easily, yeah, A Quiet Place Day 1 is easily another solid sequel, another solid film in the A Quiet Place franchise. As we're going back to day 1 when this invasion started, I loved it. And one of the best things I really enjoyed about it was just the way that it took the New York setting, but also did a different story where the first film focused on this family, the small family. The second movie, it continued the family, but expanded a little bit more of the world. This one, we're going back to day 1, and we're in this huge city where we don't have a lot of people. We don't have a lot of characters, but we have a lot of people. But what makes this film so interesting is while you get the bigger set pieces in a way, and you get in a bigger city, it's somewhat a piece of life, as you have Lupita Nyong'o's character kind of going through this cancer phase. Well, not cancer phase, but she's on her last days of living, and with this film, she gets to see the city in a new light, in a way that is much silent. And I think that's kind of what made me love this film a little bit more than most of the A Quiet Place films, in that it's a film that you can be absolutely terrified by the monsters and everything. It gives you what you want from an A Quiet Place film, but it also is somewhat a film that you can smile and love too, and kind of laugh at too, because there were a couple of funny moments with Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn, and he was great in the movie too. The cat, of course, was the MVP of the film. The only issue that I kind of have here is they don't really explain too much more of the aliens in the movie, and I kind of do wish there were more jump scares and more awesome kills, but that's really about it, because I still think they found another solid way, and I think all the beauty of life stuff, it made me like this film a lot more, of it being in a horror film, and that's what made me like it a little bit more than A Quiet Place 2 for me, and it's second best to A Quiet Place 1, which in a way, A Quiet Place 1 was a lot like that, as it's a film that you can feel so emotional for, yet it feels like it's horrifying, yet you still feel like it's a piece of art. So, yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on A Quiet Place Day 1. So yeah, this is easily the best movie of this past month, and what I absolutely loved about Inside Out 2 is that it just continues the themes that we loved about the first film, in having Riley grow up, control her emotions, keep her happy, but it's okay to feel other emotions too. But what this film explores really well is the way they use the characters, as it's going on the same journey, but all the characters our original emotions kind of have matured, and so the way they're used in the really good lengths, especially Anger, which I thought was a great character. But the way that I also just love the way that this film interprets anxiety attacks. This might be the best version of what an anxiety attack looks like, but how to visualize it through Pixar animation. And I just thought the way they did it was so good. And Maya Hawke's anxiety is great. All the new emotions are fantastic. The animation is gorgeous. But the key thing to get from this film is that it really is a piece of life. And that it's all about growing up, that we are not perfect people. We try to fit in because we want to be accepted, and our voices will come to us, but our sense of self will always change. As humans, we're going to change. And to me, that's what makes it just one of the most beautiful Pixar stories, but also just one of the best Pixar films in years. So, yeah, this is my favorite film of the year so far. Like, it beats Civil War. This is my favorite film of the year. And that's my ranking of all 16 June films. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.